Hey everybody, the R&R show is brought to you this week by Arcane Wonders.
Hello.
Hello.
Look
I
at that.
always feel relaxed.
Yeah, okay, good. I was going to say, I felt like that was a little more, it's getting a little smoother every week.
I kept waiting for something to just blow up in our faces and just have a last minute panic, but I'm just sitting there jazzing out to the music. If we were muted, people would hear me just snapping along, and then it just started. Other than I had a little frog in my throat because I hadn't spoken for 5 minutes, which is weird for me. It's going too smooth. I'm jinxing us right now.
I know. Here it is. I'm sure the internet will blow up at any second. Friends, welcome to the R&R show. My name is Ruel Gaviola. That is Rahdo. We are so happy that you've joined us today. We got a lot of people in chat. This is great. Love seeing all y'all. Appreciate you hanging out with us, spending part of your day with us as we talk about board games and more. Shout out to Tommy Miller, Amanda Panna, Gerald, Monica, all kinds of people. This is great. Yannick, appreciate y'all.
Felicitas would like to point out that apparently you're staging a coup because our windows are reversed.
Oh,
somebody has taken the.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Felicitas, for keeping somebody honest around here.
Yes.
Don't forget who the first R is. For now, anyway.
That is correct. It's funny. We totally jinxed ourselves. I thought I had that set up, but I didn't. So shout out to chat for keeping us honest. Appreciate
Well,
it.
if that's the worst thing that happens today, then this will be a good show.
Absolutely. Yes. Speaking of good shows, I think we've got a really fun one. We are going to be looking at the top 10 games of Gencon 2021, folks. But before we get to that, we've got plenty of things to do real quickly here. What would we like to start with? What do we usually start with, friends? It is...
What's on my table?
What is on your table, Rahdo?
Well, let me go on ahead and show you. If I can find the button. There it is. Hey, it's Furnace. From Hobby World Games, I think the biggest board game publisher in Russia, but Arcane Wonders, our sponsor this week, is bringing it over to wider distribution, a new English edition that includes, or has available, I should say, a wonderful mat. They've done some new capitalist stuff. The overall production is fantastic, and for folks who like game mats, but they're always kind of thinking, oh, these are so annoying. What do you do with them? Do you hang them in your closet or something like that? I would never necessarily suggest this, but the game comes with a lovely insert if you like such things. But if you remove the insert, the game mat will fit in the box, which is a rarity indeed. But the game itself is a really brilliant fusion of worker placement and auction. I did a roundup for it last year. The notion is we're bidding on all of these different industrial operations that let us generate resources or convert resources to other resources, all the type of Euro stuff you do. But Ruel, if I were the red player and I were to bid 3 on this, I might not want to win this. I might be hoping that you, as the black player, might bid 4, because if you do, you outbid me, I get a consolation prize. I get to convert steel into oil 3 times. So often you will make bids hoping, praying that somebody will outbid you, but you want your bid to be as high as possible so you can get these consolation prizes to be really, really big. And that creates such an interesting twist on auctions. It's unlike anything else I've ever seen, and it is brilliant. I really, really love this one. It's so simple, so rich, and on top of that, it has a really solid engine building game as well, as you get more and more of these industries you invest in, and they create really interesting combo chains. Really good stuff. Furnace.
Oh my gosh, this looks like it's going to be my jam. This is on my list of games that I'm most hyped about this year. I know you've done the run through. I just saw the Brothers Murph do one. I did Shay. I don't know if Shay did, but everything I've heard about it, it just really seems like something I'd really enjoy with the engine building aspect. And I like the thing, that unique a bit that you're talking about, how you sometimes want other people to take the lead on a bid.
Exactly. And then that's always the time when they won't do it. And you're like, I'm stuck with this now. Why didn't I get it too? I bid too. I bid myself into success, and success is sometimes the last thing you want. It's so cool. It's so elegant. I mean, this feels like an idea that we should have seen from Reiner Knizia 15 years ago, because it's just so it's one of those really simple, elegant Lost Cities kind of vibes. And it lives up to that hype. It's a phenomenal game. I suspect now that I've got a copy, it might make one of my top 10 of the year. And I'm really excited to spend more time with it too. It also has great player scaling for 2 also, which auction games often don't have.
I was just going to ask you about that because the whole auction thing with 2 is always a little funky, but that's great to hear. Just want to shout out more people in chat. We've got some Twitch friends, Vault Hunter Argus, To Live and Dice in LA, Brain in a Jar. All the peeps are here. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about Furnace. Would you like to talk about Furnace a little more?
No, I'm ready to move on to our next topic, which I
let's do
think
it.
some people are very excited about because we're going to give away a game.
All right.
Whoop. And not just any game. It's Flamecraft, which did it ultimately hit 2 million before? Has it made it that high yet?
I think it has. It was super close. I can jump on mine. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing how successful this was. And this is a contest entry we ran last week's episode to get a super deluxe package with the extra, I forget what it was called, the surprise dragon or the fancy dragon and all of that. And I've already got everybody's names queued up. I just got to push the button. Are we ready?
All right. Good luck, everybody. Yes, I just confirmed it did get over $2 million. So that was a very successful Kickstarter.
A really great little worker placement game. Definitely deserves it. And there's going to be one lucky winner. Who will it be?
Good luck, everybody.
All right.
Wheel of... Ooh, the wheel. The winner says...
Oh, hello, Jonathan. Jonathan D. Carlson. All right.
Congrats, Jonathan D. Carlson.
Yes. And my apologies, by the way, to Jonathan. I accidentally pasted the email addresses in instead of the names.
Oh.
Take it down. Take it down.
Take it down. Okay.
Oh, man. Okay, there we go. That was awful. Congratulations, Jonathan. Yeah. I am very, very sorry that everybody... Do not send an email to Jonathan. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. My face is getting red as we speak.
You know what? It happens. That's the risk you run of doing a live stream, folks. Be kind.
It shouldn't be a risk of the audience, though. Don't worry, folks. This will never happen.
We will make sure that doesn't happen again. And Jonathan, reach out to us, or we'll reach out to you.
Yeah, I'll be reaching out to you after the show, Jonathan. Oh my goodness. Still. He did win a really great prize.
Yeah.
So that's all cool.
Big Kickstarter. Yeah, it's going to be great. So, Jonathan, congrats again. We'll be reaching out with you and be able to send you that game.
Yep. Speaking of games, I will see if I can blur that out or something like that.
Yeah.
But continuing, we're not done talking about contests, right?
Nope. That is correct. What is next on the list here as far as contests go?
Yes. Well, this week it's our first for the show for our 7th episode. We are giving away 2 games, which means next week the wheel will be run twice. And one of them is going to be a copy of Furnace, complete with player mat that does fit in insertless box. And whoever wins it will be, I'm sure, very, very happy because it's fantastic. And also, a game that just launched on Kickstarter yesterday that is already funded, Solar Sphere, will be giving away their Solar Pledge, which includes a copy of Solar Sphere and the expansion for Solar Sphere and a copy of the prequel, Solar Storm, which is a little cooperative game all about being in close proximity to a star, and playmats, and deluxified versions of everything. So 2 winners next week, although you only have to enter the contest once. And we'll see who wins Furnace and Solar Sphere and Solar Storm. Now, so that's really 3 games. But there is one caveat. It's going to be a little bit more complicated this week than most weeks because Arcane Wonders, our sponsor of the show this week, can only send copies of Furnace to the United States and Canada. They do not have the rights to ship it into other territories. So this week, folks, unlike previous weeks, when you send your entry to contests@rahdo.com, which I'm sure Ruel is putting at the bottom of the screen right now, when you send that in, you're going to have to put a secret word in the subject line of the email, like always, and the secret word will be coming soon, like always. But in the actual email itself, please, this week, tell me what country you live in, whether you live in Bulgaria or South Korea or Canada or the United States, because this week I'll need to know, because we'll take all of the entries that come in. Everybody will have the potential to win the Solar Sphere package, and the American and Canadian viewers will have an opportunity to win Furnace. I don't know. I actually didn't think about it until right this second. Maybe the Canada and North America should win Furnace, and everybody else in the world should have a chance at Solar Sphere. Does that make sense?
I think that might be a good way to do it. Yeah,
I think
that
I like
way
that.
everyone has a fair shot, and
Yeah.
they're two great games, of course.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
what?
I would be happy to win any of this stuff. So
Yeah.
that's so folks, if you don't know, if this is your first episode ever, because you're just here to hear us talk about Gen Con games, which we've yet to talk about. At some point during the show, there is a secret word that either Ruel or I will very casually and nonchalantly work into the conversation. And what we hope is the other one of us misses that completely, and in which case we get to make fun of them. But regardless, we will point out to you, hey, everybody, the secret word is whatever it is, and then we'll remind you about the email and all of that stuff. So that's going to be coming soon, the secret word reveal, which means you could then enter the contest to win either Furnace if you're in Canada or North America, or the Solar Sphere pledge if you are elsewhere. All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
All
folks,
right.
yeah, just pay attention. We will, when we say the magic word, hopefully we'll catch it, and we shall see. For those of you scoring at home, it is 3-3. Rahdo's got me 3 times. I've got him 3 times.
Oh, that's right. This is
the big tiebreaker.
Marbles.
This is for all marbles.
Ruel was really strong in the first few episodes, but I made a big comeback. I've
Huge
totally
comeback.
blindsided him,
Yep.
and we'll see how it works. You remember what the secret word is, all right?
I do, and I almost said it. So, yeah.
That would have been our second big goof of the episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you did better than me. Okay.
Okay, let's get to talk about some Gen Con games, shall we?
Let's talk about Gen Con, shall we? Now, here's what we're doing. We have gone to the Gen Con preview, which you can find on Board Game Geek. In fact, I should have done this ahead of time. If you're watching after the live is over, I'll put a link down to the preview that is cultivated and maintained by Eric Martin, Mr. Board Game Geek News, who every year dutifully tries to talk to all the publishers, say, please tell me what games you will have at this show. And, collates it all for us. We have used this as our guiding star. We took out games that are just going to be there for demo purposes, or expansion. So we're just talking about new games that are getting their big launch. There were some games on the list that have actually already been out for a while, and they're just kind of getting a push. I left those out. I tried to get hey, this is, if you're at the show, these are the new coolest things that you can't get anywhere else. Did you do the same, or did you straddle that line?
That's exactly it. These are the ones that. So, folks, if you don't know, I'm actually going to be at Gen Con this year. Yes. So these are the games, and when I'm on the floor, I'll be excited and looking forward to, and not running, but I will be walking briskly to the booths to find them. So
yeah, if folks, you are at Gen Con next week, you can meet Ruel there, because he's actually going to do some live streaming of games.
Yes.
And so that's very, very exciting. And for folks who are concerned, we did talk about this a little bit before. This is not a decision Ruel made lightly. I should let you talk about this, really.
Yeah. No, thank you for bringing that up. This is something that I struggled with, and I'm still struggling with because of the current state of things health-wise here in our country. But I am fully vaccinated, and I actually just took a test last night, so just to make sure. And if I need to, I will take another test while I'm out there. But so far, so good. It's not a decision that I took lightly. I discussed it with my family, and I'm going to go. I will be masked, and I'm a hugger by nature. I will not be giving out hugs, unfortunately.
You will stifle your huggy urges.
Exactly. My huggy urges will be with me, but I will be giving away friendly hello waves the entire time. So, friends, if you're out there, please wave to me, and perhaps we can play a game or hang out. But yes, I will be there, and let's talk about these games that we're excited about.
Yes, okay. Let's start. I have 5, Ruel has 5. Together, we have the definitive, once and for all, incontrovertible top 10 games that you can find at Gen Con this year. Asterisks, unless they end up not showing up, because some of the ones I have do say, well, assuming the boat gets here in time. So that's always an issue. But why don't you go first? What is your number 10? While I actually pull my list up, which I forgot to do before we started filming. Oops.
Okay, cool. My number 10 is... Okay, so I'm going to be honest about this. This one, the name alone got me. The name alone got me, friends. This... Grease Lightning. Oh, it's not showing up. You know what it is? Hey, there's our one goof. Well, we've got a couple of goofs.
Our third goof, I think.
Our third goof, yeah.
Not
that we're keeping track, but this is Grease Lightning. I mean, come on, folks. If the name alone, I had to, I'm looking forward to this. This is from Kathleen Mercury. This is what really it piqued my interest because Kathleen is an educator. She's been educator within, and she uses board games in her classroom. I believe she's a middle school teacher, but I think she just moved and perhaps changed job, but she is still a teacher. It's from Wiz. What's that?
Show us the game.
There's the game right there.
Pictures of the game.
It's Grease Lightning, and it's Kathleen Mercury from Whiz Kids. This is a racing game. Okay. And look at this cool little thing. You are racing in these this almost like a drain. It looks like a drain to me, right? But you're going to
Kraken in the center of the board. Yeah.
Yes. Got to watch out for the Kraken. So you're a captain.
Hydra,
a Hydra. That's right. You're going around in your boat on this circular track, and you have a navigation die and a movement die. You're rolling one of them, and then the lower, I think you can bust, so it's a push your luck thing. And he's got these, I don't know if y'all can see, there's 12 wedges here that you're going to go round and around the Hydra. You're going to collect fish that'll, give you some boosts as well, like Favor of the Gods. And the whirlpool, you got to be careful of the whirlpool. You can have multiple exits from this. So it's basically a race game, but you've got all the different things going on, which elevates it, I believe, in my mind. And I'm just curious because Kathleen Mercury is someone I followed for a long time.
Oh, really?
As an educator, because my wife's a teacher. So I'm always looking for fellow teachers. And I'm wondering if, I'm curious to see, I don't know if the design diary is out yet, but I'm curious to see if she actually use this in her classroom and if she's using it in other classrooms as well. So that's one of the games I'm really looking forward to at Gen Con. I'm going to track this down when I'm at the convention.
That is very cool. And teachers are the unsung hero of our modern society. Shout out to teachers everywhere. Michelle and was it Kathleen? Was the Mercury?
Mm-hmm. Kathleen Mercury, yes.
All right.
Cool. All right, cool.
All right, well, that's very interesting. Although I love how I love that you were honest and said, look, I just like a good pun.
You're right. Like I threw it out there. It made me laugh. It still makes me laugh. And
a simple man, a simple pun. That'll get you every time. Okay.
That's all fun, friends.
All right. Well, so that's our number 10. Our number 9 is on my list. I don't know how to pronounce this because it's got a couple of accents. So I'm just going to spell it for you. It's Oltree. I assume it's Oltréé. There you go. It's the second one down. So. Ooh. I'm very excited about this. And I'm not surprised if this didn't jump out at you on the geek list because there's no art for it in the preview. But this has gorgeous art from Mr. Vincent Oltréé himself. Vincent Oltréé always has amazing looking stuff. And it is from designer Antoine Bauza. Mr. Seven Wonders.
Yes.
A list too long. Of amazing stuff. Don't look at the boring prototype pictures. Actually, you know what? Hey, don't go to the pictures. There's actually a thread. If you go to the forums, there's got a lot of finalized art, really beautiful pictures of the characters and stuff like that. It's where is it? I think it was under general. I think, or let's see. It was something about I could read French. So upcoming piece in tabletop. Oh man. What we know so far. What we know so far. That's the one.
What we know so far.
Yeah, it's updated rules English. What we know so far. Oh, you just scrolled it off the screen.
Oh, where was it? Let me go back to general.
Down. There we go. Update rules in English and French. What we know so far. I believe that was the one.
Oh, okay,
yes. So it is. Just start scrolling. There's tons of final art here. Really good pictures of the board and all that. But this is a pandemic-y style fantasy adventure game where we're special characters. We're moving around trying to solve all the problems that exist out in the countryside, and it is a big, elaborate what do you call it? A narrative campaign game. Ever since Gloomhaven came out a few years ago, everybody's working on, what's our big, epic narrative campaign game that you can play through multiple campaign, story chapters, and as the world evolves and changes and stuff like that. So this is Antoine Bauza's. In that thread, it talks about how he's been working on this design for 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. So I expect big things from this. And the only reason this didn't rate higher for me is because in that description, it did talk about how, hey, there will be events and you have to do some roll to resolve stuff with custom dice. You can see them there in that picture. I'm always a little bit nervous. In a cooperative game, a bit happier about roll to resolve. So we'll see how that comes out. But I know it's going to be gorgeous. I am confident the design will be solid because it's one of the premier designers in the industry. He's been working on this game for over half a decade. And I think it should. I think it'll probably be on a lot of people's watch lists moving forward. The number 9 on the list, Oltréé, or maybe Oltréé. I'm not sure what the two accented E's mean.
This one, I didn't even have this on my radar, but the second you said Antoine Bauza, I'm like, okay, I need to seek this one out. In addition to Seven Wonders, Takanoko, Tokaido, and a lot of great games.
Hanabi.
Yep. Fantastic. Oh, that's so good. Thank you for sharing that. I'm ready to check that one out.
Well, you're going to be there. You got to find it.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to track it down.
This is one of those ones that may not make it. They're hoping it's going to be there. They're hoping they're going to have some copies. And if they do, I imagine they'll be gone quick. So something to bear in mind.
I will have to run, or I'm going to walk briskly toward. My next game that I'm looking forward to is Dive.
Oh, okay.
Did you do a run through, or did Shay do?
No, I am not. I'm really interested in this one.
I am too. This looks fantastic. So the thing, let me see if I can find the
look at that
picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the box. That's the insert. I mean, I love these little divers here. I don't know if they can show it or if they have a picture.
Well, I mean, just go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with this.
The central idea. If you just click on that and blow it up bigger, I think you can get the idea across of what is going on here.
Yeah. So you're a diver, and it's a rite of passage. You're trying to get this stone, and it's a simultaneous play game, which always interests me. And what's really cool about this, and you can't really tell, it's got transparent ocean cards. So your diver, you got a set of 5 air tokens, and then these transparent ocean cards are going to go on top of each other. And you're trying to figure out, you're trying to perceive where they are and stuff. And if there's a shark there, you got to be careful of the shark. There's a turtle or manta ray, all kinds of things. You're trying to evaluate where everything is. And it reminds me of that what's the card crafting game, Mystic Vale? How it's
Mm-hmm.
This is a totally different game, but I'm always fascinated by having the transparencies and how they're going to use these in games. So I think as games continue to develop here, we're finding new ways to use these transparencies. And it's another thing where we are of the age, Rahdo, where we remember in school the little transparencies that the teachers would put, and we would
on the projectors,
on the projector, and that's the first thing I thought of here. But I mean, it looks like a fun game. This is another family style game, so that right there appeals to me because I know I'm going to be able to get on the table with Michelle and Lauren because they're more casual gamers. And another thing that I love about this, it comes with a solitaire mode, so I can always play by myself as well. So that is Dive.
Yep, and I imagine that's something that if you do get your hands on it, you'll be seeing on folks on your Twitch channel coming soon.
Yes, absolutely. Twitch channel. And folks, you can also find all my archived live streams from Twitch over here on my YouTube channel as well. Yes. So check out that. And I do some top 10 lists as well on my own.
What?
I've been doing.
You're stepping out.
Yeah, I'm stepping out by myself. I feel like I've been able to, through the confidence I've gained here, I've been able to talk about my own top 10s as well. But that is Dive. I mean, the artwork and everything it's just really appealing to me. The theme too, rite of passage. You're gonna start diving and trying to get these rocks and stuff.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous, and I love that idea, that stacking idea. And okay, what's actually down there? What's 3 levels down? And you're committing to going down there. That's so cool.
Yeah. Whoops. So there's there you can see the transparencies there.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yep. For folks who are watching instead of listening, because of course this is a podcast as well. You can always listen to this after the fact at podcast.rahdo.com. But apparently Tommy Miller says that Dice Tower has covered it, and it looked really great there. So.
Oh, good. Cool.
And by the way, what's this? This is 2 for 2 ocean themed games.
Yeah. I think it's made. I have a feeling I'm just in the mood to travel, so I need to get to the oceans one of these days. So therefore I'm going to GenCon, if that makes sense.
There you go. Yes, as far away as you can get practically.
The Indianapolis Ocean. Let's move on. What's the next game on your list?
So that was your number 8. My number 7 is Vivid.
That was on my list.
Nice. That is an excellent one. I can confirm it's excellent because Jen and I have already played a prototype. I covered it when it was on Kickstarter earlier this year. So if I recall correctly, or maybe it was last year. I think it was this year though. So it's gotten a fairly fast turnaround, and it is a gorgeous game with art from Andrew Bosley, if I recall correctly. Yep. And the interesting thing for me, I actually wasn't really that interested in the game at first because it is an abstract, and this is an abstract along the same lines as Azul. ever since Azul was such a monster hit, it seems like all
Yeah.
publishers, hey, where's our really gorgeous, wonderful components, really thoughtful, thinky abstract? And, this is one of them. And the reason I went and checked it out ultimately is because my wife recently told me, based on playing Coatl, that I really like these. I like beautiful, gorgeous, just fun to touch and feel abstracts. So we did try it, and it turns out it was Jen's favorite game the month we played it. Because what we're trying to do, it is an abstract game, but thematically, we are trying to recall vivid childhood memories. And we're doing that by getting little fragments. We're doing kind of a draft to grab these fragments, and we literally put them in our brain. But when we put them in our brain, they have to go in certain patterns, but they have to be in different patterns. So once we start getting these things arrayed in our brain, we have to start using special powers to split them up and make them achieve certain patterns that will let us recall these wonderful childhood memories. The interesting thing is, as we're getting the fragments, we are also getting new memory powers we get that give us new abilities we can do, and give us targets that we're trying, those show us what kind of memories we're trying to make. The problem is every time we end up taking one of these, we end up having to override our base powers, which are the really powerful ones that let us adjust things. So as soon as I take this, this is a way I can score points, but I've got to cover up one of the tools I use to actually manipulate my brain. And until I can get this completed, I lose that special power. So there's a really interesting compromise you're constantly having to make. Okay, I think I can finish this quick, so I don't mind losing this power for a couple of rounds to get it back. And it's really sharp, lovely. The little not porcelain, but that same kind of feel that the Azul tiles have. And trying to squeeze them all together and then the super charming art is the icing on the cake. Is it from Floodgate Games? I think maybe
it is Floodgate. Yeah. And Floodgate, their games are. I mean, they're the ones that originally did Azul. Is that correct? Or
no? But no, they did Sagrada.
Sagrada, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, and they also did a game called Holy, which was beautiful.
Another beautiful production. And if I recall correctly, this is Riddle and Pinchback. Or is it Dunstan and Gilbert? It's one of my two favorite pairs.
We gotta check.
Credit where credit
is
it
is
due.
Dunstan and Gilbert.
It's Dunstan and Gilbert, the Elysium team, together again for a wonderful little game. My number 7, Vivid.
So I'm just looking at the picture here. Is that actually your brain that you're?
Yes. You are literally plugging the stuff into your brain.
So you're like etching these memories or burning these memories into your brain. Is that right?
Well, you're trying to make them vivid. You want vivid memories.
So you'd say it's burned in your brain?
Yes, I would. Oh! Folks. The secret word is burn.
Burn, baby,
burn. Disco Inferno. Because, of course, we have a game about furnaces. We have a game about building a Dyson sphere around a very hot star. Burn really tied both of those together. Burn. Here's the thing. I will tell you later on when I had the absolute perfect segue. And I didn't have to, although that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay.
You could have used brain. Well, no, would we have accepted brain burner if we'd said that?
Oh, yeah.
I had a game later on that actually had to do with fire. And I was going to say,
okay.
You got me. I knew I had the perfect. I completely forgot. I'm playing against somebody here. So, okay, folks, the reminder, the secret word is burn. What you must do is put that as the subject of an email that you will send to contest@rahdo.com. Or contests, singular, plural, either way is fine. The subject has to have the word burn in it. And remember, this is important. I haven't done this in the past. In the actual text of the email, you must put your country, the country that you would like it shipped to. Because again, Furnace is for our America-Canadian players, and the Solar Sphere is for everybody else. So 2 winners next week. So definitely do not forget, because if you don't tell me the contest, I can't put you on the wheel of names. So subject burn in the text of the email. Just your country is all I need, and I promise next week I will not publicize your email address. I'm still my face is burning red about that. Even as
there it is, the secret word again, burning.
Yes.
Friends,
oh man!
So there it is. Yeah, send that secret word. It is burn, and that's all we're gonna say for the rest of the episode. We will remind you at the end to send the secret word to contest@rahdo.com.
Tommy just pointed out I just got burned.
Oh.
And I think that's the final word on that. We can just...
That is, I also love the fact that you immediately launched into Disco Inferno.
Oh, of course. It
yeah,
has to.
perfect.
I mean, that's
right?
going to be in my head for the rest of the day. There's no choice about it.
Nice. So that is a Vivid. Is it called Vivid or Vivid Memories?
Vivid Memories. I'm sorry.
Memories.
Yes, my mistake. Or actually, I think it switched back and forth. At one point, it was Vivid, then it was Vivid Memories. Is it Vivid Memories?
It says Vivid Memories on BGG right now. So.
Yeah, I think because there was something else already called Vivid. So my apologies to Floodgate and everybody else. Vivid Memories. Check if you're a Gen Con, seek it out. If you have ever dug Azul or that style of game, this is one I think you need to look at.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at it because Michelle is a big fan. We're big fans of Azul, so I think this will. And actually, this one Becca Scott and I covered this during our Good Looking Kickstarter show. Yeah, she was really hyped about this, and which is how I knew it.
Becca Scott is a brilliant young woman with impeccable taste.
She is.
Everyone will agree.
100%, yes. Let's go on to my game. This is my number. Gosh, I always lose
number
track.
6, I believe.
Number 6. Thank you.
Yes.
My number 6 game is again. I'm not going to the ocean. I'm going away from the ocean, but I'm going to keep things light and happy. And by keeping things light and happy, we're looking at Happy City.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested in this one.
I love Game Right Games. I think they do such an incredible job of offering gateway family-style games, Sushi Go, those along those lines, Abandoned Artichokes. I just played one called Super Mega Lucky Box, which is a lot of fun. Happy City is going to be another hit with my family. It's 2 to 5 player game. You can see here 20, 30 minutes. What we're doing here, let me click on some pictures.
Give us pictures. Are there pictures? Yes, there are.
Yeah, there are. It's so cute.
Oh, good for Game Right. They know how to put pictures up. Okay.
Yeah, look at this. You're building your city, and look, there's a zoo. Look at the bears. The bears are so cute. The bears. What you're doing, it's an engine builder. So this is like basically a lighter Splendor, but it only has one currency. You're just worried about building your engine to build all these different buildings, museums, igloos, and so forth. And what you're doing, I thought this was really cute. The way you score is the number of, let me make sure I got this right. The number of people in your city, it's going to be multiplied by the number of hearts they've collected. So Super people times hearts, yeah. So you're going to be happy, happy, happy. Let me see if there's I love the artwork. It's so cute.
But there's no pictures of the game in situ, is there?
I don't. Okay, there's look at this hot dog stand. Come on, look at the hot dog stand.
That is a hot dog for folks who can't see it. It's a hot dog stand that looks like a gigantic
the Sphinx.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
So engine building like a Splendor, where you buy certain cards. You're going to buy one per round if you're available or if you're able to. And the tension is: do you get a bunch of cheap ones off the bat, or you just save up for the more expensive one, and then you're going to build and be able to build other buildings in your mini metropolis. So that is Happy City from Game Right. I feel like this is going to be one that, for me at least, it'll be a nice little filler between heavier fare. But I love the games like this. Just come on, look at this art. It's happy, happy, happy. Very bright, very colorful, very cutesy.
Yep. Yeah, so that's interesting. It's kind of like a lighter Splendor. But with a much more engaging subject matter. Yeah, Game Right does fantastic job at family gateway style games, so I'm sure this is going to be excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And Chad is actually saying that apparently you can play it right now on Board Game Arena if you want to check it out ahead of time.
Cool. And I just noticed right now that, you have 2 ways to play, the family version and the expert version. So I'm assuming the expert version is more along the lines of what our audience here would be into. Cool. I will play anything from Game Right. I love the games that they put out. So that is my number 6. Let's move on to our number 5.
All right, my number 5 is one that I had not heard of until I was actually going through Eric Martin's list. So it's totally new for me. It's from publisher DeVere, and it's called Luna Capital.
Yes. Oh,
really? Okay, so this got your attention.
That's totally. I think DeVere's coming out some really good games. They did the Red Cathedral, right?
Thank you.
Really, really solid games.
Yeah, Red Cathedral is phenomenal. I believe it made my updated top 10 of last year. And so, I mean, that has put DeVere firmly in my sights. And when I saw they actually have a couple of new games, and I had to pick which one. I also know this one. This is where players are competing to make the best lunar colony or a capital on the moon. Luna Capital is the title. But the interesting thing is, I think I'm going to make a prediction here, Ruel. You know how every once in a while there's like a big wave of a specific game type. You know, Dominion came out and there was a lot of Dominion clones. What's it? The Love Letter came out and then we had a whole bunch of micro games for a while.
Yep.
This is the latest. It doesn't have a name yet. I like calling it either Entangled or Entwined Drafting. Like Cascadia, or Overboss and whatnot. The idea that, well, hey, there are these bundles of cards and tokens. And if I want to take this card, I'm stuck with these tokens. If I want to take that token, I'm stuck with this card. And so you have to make these tough choices. The interesting thing here is the cards are the foundation of what you build on. They're like you actually claiming space on the moon. And then the tokens are what you actually build on the cards. And it sounds super puzzly because the cards can be played in 3 rows, but they have to be played in ascending order. So if you get like a really good card, but it's a 7, and I know, okay, as soon as I put this down, I can't put anything except for an 8 above past this. I dare not take this right now, but I really want that token because that little oxygen module or whatever it is perfect for what I need. Am I going to make that? And then the other interesting thing too is the first round, as I understand it, you're taking a card and 1 token. And then halfway through the game, you're taking a card and 2 tokens. And then near the end of the game, you're taking a card and 3 or 4 tokens. So there's this really interesting escalation where early on you care more about the cards, but you have this really tight restriction. Later on, you are just really bringing in the tokens and trying to figure out, am I going to be able to put them in the right place based on this landscape I've developed? And if you can see the picture, folks, not for nothing, I very appreciate the fact they made a little rocket ship that you use to hold all the tiles and a little lunar lander module, buggy that you use to hold the cards, and you made this rocket ship to hold the tiles as you're drawing them. They didn't have to do that, but it looks adorable. It's got really cute art, but I suspect it's going to be one of those deceptively deep games because it seems like it's a light, silly, family-ish gateway game. But again, entangled drafting is fast becoming one of my favorite mechanisms. It just always works so well. But this is definitely doing some new interesting stuff with that. So that's why Luna Capital is my number 5.
Wow, this was on my list as well. So is entangled drafting, is that something you just created?
No, I did not. That game or that title was given. I got that from designer Seth Jaffe.
Okay.
Cool. Mr. Eminent Domain. That was his idea. Actually, I kind of like Stacy's comment. And she said, "Well, what about calling it dual drafting?"
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Duo drafting.
Duo drafting. Yeah. Bundle drafting, says Matt. Definitely. I think it's a mechanism that is here to stay. I think it's one of those ones that's been around for a while, but in the last couple of years, people notice, this is really cool. You can do a lot of stuff with this.
Yeah, sort of like how deck building in its infancy, Dominion, and then you look at where it is now. Same thing with duo drafting or entangled drafting. I think that is great. And speaking of that, I finally got to play Cascadia this weekend.
Oh yeah, you were very excited about it last week.
Played it 5 times this weekend. I loved it. Loved it. I soloed it once. I played it at 2, and I played it at 4, and I played it at 3 a couple times. So good. So this is Luna Capital, friends. Yeah, I'm all over this one as well.
Awesome.
Let's move on to my number 4.
All right.
Okay. So this one, I'm not going. Well, you know what? I am going back to the ocean. I don't know what it is about the ocean these days. But this is actually a re-release, and I'm going to show you what it is here. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Okay, I remember
this
a few years ago.
Re-released by Renegade Game Studios. I forget who it was before, but I like King Klenko. I've always liked all of his designs. I think he's a really wonderful designer. And this new version, does it come with minis? No, these are someone's minis that they painted. The new version it was out of print for a while.
Yes.
And this is sort of like my Shelf of Shame, I guess, where I had a copy of this game. I really enjoyed it. I ended up trading it away. But now that this new version, I don't know if I have FOMO now, but I want it back, Rahdo. I want to get it back.
It was a good game from designer Kane Klenko. It's basically you have a crew of pirates that are running around on a sinking pirate ghost ship.
Right. So
it's also on fire.
Yeah, it's solely on fire.
Plunder all the booty while having to fight off skeletons.
Right.
So it's the real game, not this person's personal collection, unless it does come with miniatures, this new version.
Yeah,
I mean, Renegade doesn't do miniatures, do they? I don't think so, as a general rule.
They've done stuff for like Power Rangers and stuff. Okay, here's
there you go. That's a good shot right there. Of the game in situ.
So think of it, folks, as a combination of Pandemic and Flashpoint. You know, you got to put out fires.
Why didn't I say that when I did my run through? That's the perfect encapsulation of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's and what I love about it too, you know, I love those type of combat games. So you got a little combat too. Your pirates are going to fight skeletons, and the skeletons and the monsters, they spread out pandemic style, right? Each round you're going to have to, you know, go to the next tile and stuff. What's really cool about this too is that the tiles, you know, if they get burned, you're trying to get off the ship, you cannot go over those burned tiles. They're just shut out. So you're you're hosed, basically. So it's not an easy game. I think I might have gotten rid of it because I couldn't win at it. I was getting so frustrated. But now that it's come back, I'm like, okay, I know they've streamlined a couple of things. I know that I don't know if they updated the artwork, because the artwork is fantastic. I love the art of it.
It was a gorgeous game. And really, some of the coolest looking dice, six-sided dice I've ever seen in a game.
Yep.
And as I recall, the original one came with really cool little silk screen meeples.
That's right. That is right. Yeah, they're meeples. So maybe they did. I don't know. We'll have to check out. I will check it out at Gen Con next week, folks, if they're going to actually have miniatures or what. But that is my number 4 game, I believe it is. That is Dead Men Tell No Tales. It's a cooperative game too, by the way, if we didn't make that clear. Yeah.
The audience, by the way, would like to know, why didn't you save your burn reference for here?
I thought about it, but I thought it would be almost too easy, right? I mean, we're talking about fire, so I had to throw it in. Yeah, I got to stay on top of the game, Rahdo. It's like
you nailed me. You are the champion. You know, best of 7 is where we're at now. I don't know if I'll be able to come back, but I'll get you next week, Gaviola.
Yes, you will, sir. Okay,
so that was number 4, Dead Men Tell No Tales, the Renegade Games edition. All right, then let's move on to my number 3. Savannah Park. And Savannah with an H at the end, which
this was also on my list.
Here's the deal. I didn't recognize the original publisher, but it is getting picked up by Capstone as well. Capstone is kind of fast becoming a publisher that can do no wrong. I mean, they've got really great instincts. But that aside, what's more important to me is this is from Kramer and Kiesling, which is still, I mean, I mentioned Dunstan and Gilbert, and I mentioned, who's my other? Riddle and Pinchback. There's a lot of really great designer duos out there, but none of them can touch the brilliance, the amazing design potential whenever Michael Kiesling and Matthias Kramer get together. And so this game is a very simple, not exactly a tile layer. At the beginning of the game, you have your board almost completely full of all these savanna animals. And you have a few empty spaces. And everybody has the same collection of tiles on their own board, but kind of arrayed randomly. And on your turn, you will pick one of your animal types, like ostriches or rhinoceros or something like that. And that means everybody has to pick up a rhinoceros or an ostrich, kind of almost like a Tiny Towns kind of vibe. And everybody picks that tile up someplace, and all they do is flip it over to indicate it's been activated. They put it somewhere else on their board, and that's it. Those are the rules. On your turn, when you're the lead player, pick something. Everybody has to pick that up, flip it so it's exhausted, and put it someplace else. And what you're doing is you had a layout at the beginning. You're trying to build another layout at the end where you are trying to get the right animals together. Of course, like type animals want to be next to other like type animals to score, but the animals won't score unless they also have watering holes. So you want to get the watering holes on tiles closest to your biggest bundles of animals. And there are also there's preset spots on the board, like fires, which is when I was going to mention burning. I waited way too long for the burn. I was never going to get there. But you do have to watch out, because sometimes you will have to put these animals next to the fires. But if you put the right animals, they're not affected. So it sounds like it's a really simple game where you could teach anybody the rules in less than 3 minutes. In fact, by the way, folks, if you're checking it out, there's an excellent teach the game rules in about 3 minutes video on Board Game Geek. I don't forget who it was. I wasn't recommending. It was phenomenal. Thank you very much to whoever put that video together. It so sold me on this game. So it's really simple, but it's got complex scoring at the end, trying to get the right sets together, trying to get things into the right spot, but such a simple idea. And that's the thing that really typifies a Kiesling and Kramer production, is some of the most brilliant, beautiful, elegant gameplay that somehow creates some of the most, head scratchy, brain burnery style gameplay, which is why Savannah Park is my number 2.
Yeah, I love those type of games where it's, pretty easy to learn, but you're going to be sitting there because there are so many decisions to make from this one simple choice. I love games like that. And yeah, this would have been a great one to use. You just said Brain Burnery. That would have been another good one.
I know! But yeah, I should have. Well, I had to be fair. It was my number 2. I could have made it my number 9, and I would have gotten there first.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking of the game. Yeah.
All right, good. So, are we at number 1?
That was my number 3. I'm sorry, that was my number 3. So we're number 2.
Okay, here's my number 2. This one I'm really pumped about. So we just talked about Dead Men Tell No Tales and the tiles, how some of them get burned, right? And you can't use them. This one.
Stop rubbing it in with the burn. The Night Cage. Okay.
The Night Cage.
Yeah.
So I figured this one. Yeah, this one is interesting. I thought this was a good call because we are coming up on Halloween season here in the States, and this is a horror theme game. It is a cooperative game. Let me get up some of the tiles here. I mean, these are some gorgeous photos out here. What you do, you're awake in the dark, right? And you don't know where the heck you are. You need to get out of this pitch black labyrinth. So you're working together to get out of here. And as you open up tiles, you can only see tiles that are illuminated by your candle. Okay, so
a real candle?
Well, not a real candle, but in the game mechanism, there's gonna be a candle where you can see like orthogonally or whatever. But
okay, it gives you an idea of how far your vision is. Gotcha.
Correct. But as you move on, of course, as you're moving forward, you can see tiles in front of you, but now the tiles behind you are gone. They flip over.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? This is why I'm really excited about this. So your visibility, the entire game is going to be limited. So you're working together trying to remember, are we supposed to go out here? Because you have to collect a key and get the heck out of there, or else, terrible things happen. So I think this is going to be a great one to play obviously on Halloween. But if you're into horror themes, I think this is a winner. I love the theme of just trying to get out and trying to help each other in darkness, right? So this is the Night Cage. I'm really looking forward to this. Who's the designer? I forgot to look up the designer. A couple of them, Christopher Ryan Chant, Chris McMahon, and Rossable Saunders from Smirk and Laughter Games. That is the more like
back to our first or second episode.
That's right, Smirk and Dagger. Yeah. So early reviews of this have been really positive from what I've seen. So this is one I'm super hyped about.
And for folks who are listening later, I mean, the pictures he was just showing me, it looks like it has very, very cool looking miniatures that are kind of creepy, but also kind of have almost a Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's right.
Vibe to them. I was about to say Danny Elfman. I can't think of the director now. Tim Burton. Tim Burton.
I was going to say Danny Elfman, but that's the music. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. I have to admit, I didn't look at this very closely because I knew, it's really creepy. Jen generally doesn't like creepy stuff, but this seems, and I love that. I almost kind of like that snake idea that you're moving along and what was behind is lost and what's out there now, it may have changed. That's really cool.
And that's like the perfect analogy right there. Snake. I remember that game. I spent way too many hours on my Nokia phone playing Snake. So that's my number 2. That is the Night Cage, folks.
Yeah, all right. Cool. All right. Well, then let's save the best for last. My number 1. And by the way, that was Ruel's number 1. I don't know if you ever said, what we do is each of us actually comes up with 10 ahead of time. And then we actually send them to a third party who confirms whether we have overlap. And if so, then whoever rated it higher is going to get to talk about this one or that one or the other thing. So that's how we've been, been actually being able to come to you with 10. So my number 1, although man, I had like 45 I could have talked about today. There were so many. And in fact, I think I'm going to be doing a ramble in the next couple of days. For folks who back my channel on Patreon, if you back at the $2 a month level, you can watch my monthly ramble where I talk about all kinds of things, like a much deeper dive into like my top 50 games for Gen Con, which is what I'll be filming in a couple of days. But anyway, my number 1 in the meantime, after some blatant self-promotion there, is Free Radicals. Also from WizKid Games, so I think this is our second WizKids title we're talking about today. And it's interesting. You could go and look at the pictures of this, but it's kind of hard to get a sense for what this game is because it's just an explosion of colors. In this world, it's in the near future. These strange alien artifacts have appeared that are just kind of completely transforming the technology of our planet. It's a worker placement game in this kind of like very bright neon, colorful, upbeat Blade Runner type world, basically. If you can imagine an upbeat Blade Runner instead of a dour, depressing Blade Runner, that's where we are. So it's got worker placement stuff, and that's all fine. But actually, what sold me is, again, if you go to Board Game Geek, there's one video for this game today. It's from designer extraordinaire Daniel Solis. Actually, if you run his video, we haven't tried this. I'm sure it'll work. And Daniel, by the way, is a great designer in his own right. I mean, Kodama Tree Spirits. Mwah. But anyway, if you scroll ahead, it's a worker placement game. You're putting your workers out on the board to gather stuff, and it's all in kind of this quasi-sci-fi. But if you jump to about halfway through the video, it'll start showing, here's the thing that got me excited. Each player has their own custom player board. Each player, depending on who they are, is playing a radically different game. One player has a mandala they're playing. That's what you have on screen right now. They've got a mandala where they're picking stuff up, moving around. Another player is a different type of character. They've got this team management thing where they're trying to upgrade different people. Another player is playing a polyomino tile laying game, which is what you just put on the screen. There's another player who is actually playing a domino style tile laying game. And if you keep going, there's several more. There's one who's actually playing an explore the world game. There's one who's playing, that's what you're seeing now, a pick up and deliver game. So like Oath or Merchant's Cove, this is becoming a thing these days where, okay, there's the central game that, ties us all together, but we're all doing radically different standalone games.
Wow.
And I am very excited about that because most of these games that have come out so far haven't really worked for me in Gen because they always have kind of this like really cutthroat element to them. But it looks like this one does not, because this is just like very positive and peppy and upbeat and bright and colorful, and everybody gets their own game to play.
Wow.
Oh, I'm very excited about this one. Oh yeah, if you're the entertainer, you've got your own personal deck of cards and you're trying to do this hand management game to put on a really good performance instead of exploring the world if you're the explorer, or so wow. I'm very, very excited. Daniel, if you watch his video, does a very good job. He's the developer, not the designer. He's the developer on the game, and he really goes deep into what they're trying to achieve with the game. He totally sold me on this game, which is why it's my number one. If I were with you at Gen Con, I would not leave without Free Radicals.
That's on the top of my list. This looks absolutely 100% amazing. Wow. Free Radicals, folks.
Cool. We did it.
You got Oath, Root, those type of games, asymmetric. But I mean, this is, oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Yep.
Wow. Great stuff. So we've got a lot of great stuff coming up from Gen Con, friends. Let us know in chat what you're looking forward to. And you have 10 minutes. We still got some time to hang out and talk games. What shall we do next, Rahdo?
Well, last week we didn't have enough time to do a Ruel ranks. We got 10 minutes. I think that would probably take away the Q&A. What do you want to do?
I would like to do Q&A. I think that was so much fun, hanging out with folks. And folks, let us know. Ask some questions here in chat. We will answer them as we go, as many as we can in the next few minutes. We love hanging out with y'all, and we really appreciate y'all spending some time with us today. So fire up those questions. We will answer them as we go.
All right.
Everyone's saying that Free Radicals looks radical. Well done.
I don't think you should reward those kinds of observations, quite frankly.
Okay, noted. Let's see. The 80s are back. This looks radical. Wow, there's a lot of this. Come on, folks.
Video games have vaporware, says Nick. Games that are announced but never shipped. What board game that has been announced but never came out do you want to magically be released at Gen Con? Does that happen in our industry?
I don't know. I know there's been problems with I think the Evil Dead. They had problems. That was going to go on Kickstarter or something. I don't know if it was something to do with the IP and they had to shut that off. Also with Terminator, there's a Terminator game. Okay. These 80 movies that I'm into, I know that they've had struggles trying to get those out. So maybe that might be it. Let's see. Gerald asks, hey, Rahdo, will you be going to any live gaming events in the future?
Well, I'd love to go to Gen Con. If Gen Con wanted to, I don't know, have me do some live plays, like a good personal friend of mine who maybe could pull some strings. I don't know. Come on, Gen Con.
Come on, Gen Con. I would love to play games with Rahdo live. We'll make that happen. We have Dice Tower West next year.
Yes,
and you and I may know someone that's helping organize the Content Creator Conference.
Oh, yes, indeed. Actually, if you end up going
to
Dice Tower West, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I am organizing it, so if we shall
so that's like a convention within a convention.
Correct.
Where board game media folks get together and complain about publishers, basically.
My official answer is no, but my unofficial answer we will save offline. But no, it's going to be a great way for the community of content creators to get together, share resources, network, and hey, maybe do some live streaming as well. From
That sounds very cool. To answer the question, I will be at Board Game Geek Con this November in Dallas.
Nice.
Like you said right up front, it was something Jen and I talked about quite a bit, and we weren't quite sure. But when they announced their particulars, you have to be vaccinated. They are requiring masks at all times in all venues, except they are setting a few mask-free rooms apparently somewhere that are far away from the rest if people absolutely want that, and you have to reserve those ahead of time. And so I thought, it's from everything I sounded like, Board Game Geek is handling the situation with a lot of care and responsibility. And it's Jen's and my, I mean, no offense, Dice Tower West is phenomenal as well. Tim, who puts on an amazing show. Plus, it's so much fun that it's in Vegas, and there's so much other stuff you can do. But it is hard to top the Board Game Geek yearly convention, and so Jen and I will be there. Jen will be selling her glassware, and I'll be sitting at her booth the entire time, just playing games with anybody who wants to stop by and say hi.
There it is, folks. All right, so BGG Con. Gerald also asked, where is Dice Tower? Dice Tower West is in Vegas. Monica asked, can you name one game you really want to play now or very soon?
We named 5 last week.
I'll name one real quick. I just played for the first time Rift Force last night with Michelle. Loved it. Loved it. I don't think it's your type of game, Rahdo. It's a one-on-one, 1v1 combat game. You're trying to knock the other player out. Michelle and I really, really liked it. It was very cool hand management game, and you play with a bunch of different factions. You mash them, almost like Smash Up but better. That's how I'm looking at it, like there. Smash Up but better. That is Rift Force. I'm looking forward to play. Michelle and I are probably going to play it again tonight.
Wow. When we did that list, I had a long list of stuff I could keep on listing, because we did our play games, and I think one of the ones that just missed was Peloponnese the card game, actually. Because I have the Patronus expansion and I've never played it. It's driving me nuts. So Peloponnese is phenomenal. Peloponnese, the card game, might even be better, but I haven't spent as much time as I have with the original Peloponnese, which is in my top 10 games of all time. So, putting aside the 5 I talked about last week, my number 6 probably would have been Peloponnese, the card game, with the Patronus expansion.
Nice. And that's a nice callback, because I remember we did a show, our top 10 games outside of the BGG top 3,000. And I think that was your number 1 or one of the top ones. Yeah. I really love it. Yeah, I'd still love to play it. We've got another question here. I just missed it. Monica asks, sports or games you need to be physical in? Hands up, Happy Salmon, Crockett. Not really sure. I guess dexterity games or physical. I guess. Yeah, I'm a Happy Salmon fan.
Very interesting game that's on my list of games to play. What is it? I want to give it a shout out because it's really cool. Okay. Let me see if I can find it on my list of shame. All right, no, I just need to go to pubscent.rahdo.com, which is a list of all the games I've got on hand from publishers that I have yet to cover. And where is it? It is on here, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well,
while you find that, I'm going to answer another question.
Reach. And it's a simple little game. It's just a small deck of cards. Comes in a bag. It's one of those little micro games. But here's the deal: we are both astronauts, and we're in 0 G, and we're floating around, and the ship is in danger, and we are actively trying to throw stuff to get enough momentum to be able to maneuver on the spaceship. And that represents us, like, we have a hand of cards. Okay, I'll throw this module, I'll throw that in this direction so I can float in that direction. Here's the brilliant thing about this game. You could just play it at a table, or you could go outside into your backyard and treat your backyard as the big space and literally physically move around.
Hey.
And what we're trying to do, we're literally just trying to reach each other. So you can have a couple meeples that are trying to reach each other on the board, or you can play it in real life and physically try to grab onto each other. And that's what we're trying to do. I really like the idea of it.
That's fascinating. That sounds really cool. Let's see. Other questions here. Have you ever broken a board game component? I have. I know I've broken something. So one of the, something where you had to build it out of cardboard and you put together a box, and for whatever reason, I think I stepped on it or something. But yeah, I have broken it, not on purpose. I don't think I've broken anything on purpose. Have you broken a component on purpose?
Personally, I've not broken anything, but I believe one of our tiles in an old key game, Key Harvest, got chewed up by a dog. So there's that, and we were able to proxy it. It was fine.
Yeah.
But that's it. Otherwise, I mean, we're grown-ups here. We can handle it. We can handle our toys responsibly.
That's true. Okay, there's a lot of great questions here. Appreciate it, folks. Let's see.
Hey, Scott Alden of Board Game Geek is in the chat.
Scott.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Aldi in the house.
Yes.
More
questions.
Yes, we got more. There are plenty. Someone asked about Hungry Hippos. Haven't played that in years.
You know what? I never played it.
Really?
Yeah, never. As a kid, didn't have it.
Yeah.
I saw the commercials incessantly throughout the 70s in my childhood, but I'm going, and I can still remember song, Hungry Hippos, Hungry Hippos, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, I still got that stuck in my brain, but I've never actually played the thing.
Someone said Crokinole. Crokinole is the greatest dexterity game ever. That is
hard to argue.
That is
yeah.
Greatest game ever. Greatest dexterity game ever. Some people are pointing out Furnace is on your table right now, right?
Yep. From the sponsor of the show, Arcane Wonders, and go back and find the secret word somewhere in this episode so you can win a copy.
Yes, there it is. One more time, folks, send that secret word in the subject line to contest@rahdo.com. And don't forget, tell us what country you're in, because you'll be entered into one of two contests depending on where you live.
Yep.
Where you want it shipped.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, okay. I see a question from Peter asking actually about Furnace. Did they change the art in the new version of Furnace to have more inclusion? Asks, Nain, but Peter re-asked the question for him. Yes, they did. I probably should have mentioned this. When I covered it last year, everybody gets to pick one of, let me go back to the overhead view of Furnace from our sponsor, Arcane Wonders. Everybody gets to pick an industrialist, and the original Russian version of the game I had just had 5 white dudes. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get it. There were a bunch of white Russian dudes, but I said, it'd be really nice to have some color. And it's not like there weren't other important people, pushing this in the time. And so when Arcane Wonders picked it up, they did, in fact, bring in a little more color to the game, which is very, very appreciated. And in fact, this is kind of, I'm glad you asked, because a lot of times, I wear the shirts, Ruel. You're aware I wear the shirts. Oh, yeah. And I get a lot of, why are you doing that, Rahdo? What's the point? Why do you complain about inclusion in games? It doesn't matter. It's just games. And but the thing is, these characters would not be, I know this directly from Arcane Wonders. These would not have been in here if I hadn't made, not a stand, but if I hadn't just said, it would be nice. And why not? Why not? When you get the opportunity to, when you can make history come alive a little bit more, and you can also be more inclusive. And I'm really, I had a very tiny part in the development of this game, but I'm very, very proud of it. And you can win a copy.
And I appreciate that, Rahdo. That's why I enjoy being on the show, because I'm just going to say it right now. You get it, my friend. That's you get it. And
I try. I've made some missteps, but I try. Real hard.
And that's the thing. We've all made missteps, but I will leave people nameless. But unlike some other people, you owned up to it, and you did the right thing. So I appreciate, on behalf of all of us, I appreciate you, and thank you for.
You're going to make my face red for a completely different reason now. My cheeks are burning once more.
Yeah. Scott Alden wants to just want to shout out. There's a Topo Chico sighting, folks. Yes, Topo Chico. Es muy delicioso. I'm still not sponsored by y'all. Someone hook me up. Please.
Have you? So this is a crusade that Ruel has been on now on his channel for a couple of weeks. You just keep dropping their catchphrase. Apparently, this stuff is delicious. I guess
it is very delicious, or muy delicioso. Are you a friend of mineral water or sparkling water?
Oh, I can't stand the stuff.
Oh, then this isn't for you. But for the rest of us, I love it. And actually, it's funny. We actually did a bit on this on Good Looking Kickstarters. Becca and I just went with it, and
for the whole episode, yes.
For the whole episode, we're trying to get a sponsor. I would love it. But anyways, let's see. What else do we have out here? We have like a couple of minutes, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Some talking about Pitch Car. Yeah, Pitch Car is a great one. Classic is another great dexterity game. Again, I'm all about Crokinole, folks. I love Crokinole. I actually just played a really fun one recently called Crash Octopus. That's another fun dexterity game. And I think the questions. Here's one. Do R or R ever do jigsaw puzzles?
I assume you must, because of your Renegade connection.
Yes, I love, and even before I got into gaming, like board games, Michelle and I, we love jigsaw puzzles. It's the ultimate cooperative game, right, folks? You're trying to put together this puzzle. right?
Actually, yes. If you haven't seen it, go check out Gaming Rules, which is a great channel from Paul Grogan, personal friend of mine, great guy. He did, I don't remember if it was an April Fool's video, where he did an unboxing and live play of a jigsaw puzzle, but he did it from the point of view of, well, this is a really weird cooperative game. Where are the rules? Okay, well, we're going to give it a try. And he did a full review. It was awesome. It was excellent. And he and his wife pretty much, they did a time lapse and played and, and filmed the whole thing. So yeah, that was a really, give Gaming Rules some love. I love that guy. Great channel.
He is fantastic. Well, so do you and Jen do jigsaw puzzles?
As kids, but no, that's not something that's ever really jumped out at us. I'm really, so you said you dig it still.
Oh yeah.
Can you say why? I mean, just because it's relaxing or
it is like,
yeah,
no, it's very relaxing. It's just, there's something zen about it where you're just trying to find the pieces that fit and put them on there. And, we start with the edges and then work our way in. And the last couple of ones we've done were from the Op. They do some really cool pop culture ones. So we did a Simpsons puzzle, which was fantastic. It had like literally hundreds of Simpsons characters that you had in like this whole 1,000-piece puzzle. Awesome. And then we also did a Scooby-Doo puzzle. And right now, the one we're working on, which is actually hurting my brain a little bit, is the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls puzzle. I don't know what it is. I can't get those. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we love jigsaw puzzles. But hey, I think we're all about out of time here, Rahdo.
All right.
You want to take us out? Perhaps talk about our sponsor before we get out of here?
Well, thanks to everybody who showed up. And, good luck on winning the contest. Oh, we didn't actually talk about next week. Next week, folks, as we mentioned right up front, Ruel is not going to be in the house. He's going to be in Indianapolis, cruising the highways and byways of Gencon. But we have a preliminary plan that hotel Wi-Fi, if it works out okay, that we will probably do the R&R show next week on Friday. So after Ruel has been there a couple of days, he's been able to see some stuff. If the Wi-Fi is up for it, we will do a special. We'll probably still do noon, I imagine, West Coast time, which would be, was it 2 or 3 o'clock for you out in Indianapolis? I guess probably 2 o'clock. And you'll tell us what's been going on. And we'll, but again, it's preliminary because we don't know how good the Wi-Fi is going to be. But if so, we'll be on a special R&R time, special R&R date next week, Friday. Yeah,
but that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. And I think maybe, I'm sure we'll do like a practice stream right beforehand, and make sure everything works.
And test the waters, as it were. Because I don't want to do this by myself. I can't do it, man. I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, every week I look forward to this.
Where will they find you at Gen Con?
They're going to find me, folks. You're going to find me. I will be working with Gen Con during the convention itself, doing live streaming. You will also find me occasionally at the Ivy Games booth. So Ivy Games, they have created Mythic Mischief. That's right now on GameFound. You can check that out. So
you can stop playing that game. Every day I wake up and I look at my YouTube subscriptions, and here's another video of you playing this game with more people.
I love this game. I think it's so good, and I want more people to play it. It is fantastic. So find me at the Mythic Mischief booth, folks, and we can hang out there. Again, all the friendly waves they're free. I've got a bunch of them for y'all. So let's speed up.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, then, I think that's it, folks. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll be back next week if all goes to plan. But in final, I do want to say a big shout out, a big thanks to Arcane Wonders for sponsoring the show. And everybody, have a